is the Cam show, and I didn't want to bring up this topic because I just think it's overdone, but like we gotta do the Bronny James talk. There's so many elements to this Bronny James thing. And overall my takeaway is I feel bad for the kid. I really do. Look, he's had a great life in terms of fame and popularity and fortune and getting just about anything he wants. And he's a talented athlete. But I don't think he asked for all that is coming his way. So this is born out of the fact, I wasn't going to talk about it, like I said, but I woke up to a notification this morning that I had missed at about midnight last night from Bleacher Report, which I get Boston sports news, Baylor sports news, and just breaking sports news. And this breaking news was Bronny James hit a buzzer beater. And by that they meant in the middle of the third quarter, he hit a shot that beat the shot clock buzzer. And underneath it in the subhead, it says it was his only basket of the game. To which I'm thinking, I am literally getting updates to my phone as someone who is, patently not a Lakers fan, updates every time he scores a basket in the summer league, in these high school gyms, against guys who really don't crack NBA rosters. What the hell are we doing? I know this has been going on for a month now, but what are we doing? We get it. In his fourth summer league game, he scored a basket. Congrats. And then, of course, the highlight is on my Twitter timeline. I can't escape this. So I bought into it a little bit. I watched it. I watched Bronny's buzzer beater. His shot clock beating third quarter cut the lead to 16 jump shot. And the building goes nuts. And I'm like, wait, why? I'm not saying jeer the kid or anything like that. He doesn't deserve that. But it's like the cheer he got was when the autistic team manager comes in and bangs a three. Like it's this great underdog story that a kid named LeBron James Jr. hit a basket in the summer league. Don't try to sell me on he's the plucky underdog that no one believes in. Because there is a fine line between him probably not deserving to be drafted by show of the fact that there are guys who weren't drafted or drafted in the few spots behind him that had better college careers and had better pro prospects. But that doesn't mean he's an underdog story. It doesn't. And I hope he can make a name for himself. But the bottom line is this kid should still be playing in college. He got 1 year on a bad team. He went through a major health scare that just hasn't been talked about since. Didn't know if he was going to be able to play basketball. And for a team that was terrible in USC, he averaged to play half of a game per game. He averaged under 20 minutes and less than 5 points a game. He didn't really give much to a bad team. He could do with, a couple years in college to develop. But his dad couldn't help himself. His dad has accomplished everything in the game. He's the all-time leading scorer. He's going to be obviously a first-ballot Hall of Famer. At worst, the second-best player ever to play. All these championships, MVPs. And the only thing he wanted left was to play in the NBA with his son. His son's career, his son's growth, his son's health, be damned. LeBron wanted to play with his son. And I just don't think in this context that it's as admirable as people think it is. It's cool that they'll be playing together, and I guess I'm happy for them, but this is a mess. And he handcuffed his team into wasting a draft pick on Bronny. And wasting it not to say that he can't play in the NBA, but he was not projected to be taken in the draft. And God only knows when it comes to whatever assignment Bronny's going to get after the summer league, because the kid obviously could use with going to college still, but he's not ready for the NBA. He should get an assignment to the G League. But do you think LeBron's going to let that happen for a team that's going nowhere anyway? and a rookie head coach, and you think they're going to have the balls to send LeBron James' kid to the G League? No fucking way, man. No way. He's playing for the Los Angeles Lakers this year, and he's going to make a couple $1,000,000 doing it. And it's just, it is sad. It reminds me of the Ball brothers, specifically Lonzo. He was the oldest, and Lonzo got this bad reputation coming into the league of this prima donna, this, that, the other, the big baller brand. And really, it was not Lonzo at all. It was his dad. Lonzo seemed a quiet kid, by all accounts a good teammate from everything that we've heard. But it was his dad who was an asshole and just everywhere. And while LeBron isn't going on First Take and saying that his son is going to beat Jordan in a one-on-one, make no mistake about it, LeBron Sr. is behind all of this. And if this kid had any other name, he would still be playing in college and probably developing, hopefully, into a pro. But instead, he does 1 year coming off a real health scare, doesn't produce for a bad team, and we just put him in the NBA. And I know there's been a lot of talk about nepotism in pro sports because it's everywhere. That's correct. It is everywhere. Coaches, ownership boxes, GMs, it's all over the place. But where the buck has to stop is the players. That's what makes sports great. It separates this crap. You can have a Nepo baby owner who's going to ruin your franchise for years, but when it comes to the players, the talent should be the only thing that matters. The talent, their role in the team. That's what separates the men from the boys. That's why so many great, talented, but undisciplined players won't make it in the NBA. That's supposed to be the great equalizer. And now, really for the first time, it's not. Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky's kids tried to play baseball. It didn't work. It didn't work. They weren't good enough. Shit, Michael Jordan wasn't good enough in baseball. We see it with coaches and GMs and owners, but we're not supposed to see it with players. Because that's the investment on the court or on the field. And right now, the Lakers are potentially going to hurt their investment. Their team might be worse with Bronny James out there versus some other kid. Don't take my word for it. Ask the Finals MVP. While he tried to deny it, it looked like he was caught on camera at the Summer League game last night telling his new girlfriend, hey, Bronny, he's not a pro. I don't think he's a pro. And I agree with him. He backtracked, and most people would agree with him. Most players, most scouts, most analysts would agree. And that's why, ultimately, again, I feel bad for the kid. He's not ready for this. And it shows, and he's put his head down. He doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't. He kind of keeps to himself. He is, I think, trying to earn his spot. But the kid should be playing at SMU right now for his coach, Andy Enfield, and developing into a player that can be a good enough role player in the league. Because right now, he's not that. And when it's Bronny in the G League, that's a mess. You by just drafting him and him declaring for the draft, he was put in a no-win situation. He's always going to be compared to his dad anyway. That's never escaping him, no matter how much he played in college or whatever. But add on top of that he's coming into the league prematurely, and if he's playing for the Lakers, he's Thanasis Antetokounmpo, and he's a meme, or he's playing in the G League, and they're saying, how does LeBron's kid play in the G League? The greatest player ever, and his son is in the minors. How embarrassing is that? He's in a no-win, an absolute no-win. And so I do feel bad for the kid. I hope it gets changed with the younger kid. If he's good enough to play in the NBA, then it'll actually take his time to get there. But this is just all born out of the ultimate nepotism from LeBron. He wanted to play with his son so bad that he has jeopardized his son's career, and therefore I think taken a big chunk out of his son's life in terms of the mental toll that this could take, especially this first season. Because even if he's playing in the NBA, then you've got all the problems of playing with your dad, right? Your dad who nobody has said no to in 25 years. LeBron had a tough upbringing, don't get me wrong, but he has had everyone tell him how great he is since he's been 15 years old. He's also the best player, captain, arguably GM, arguably part owner of the team that he plays for. And so how is JJ Redick, first-time head coach, glorified podcaster, going to tell Bronny all the shit that he's doing wrong with LeBron James looking over his shoulder? It's a no-win for everybody. Everybody. The only one who benefits somewhat from it is LeBron. But his team doesn't, his GM doesn't, his coach doesn't, his son doesn't, his family might not. This is going to be a trying time. And I really hope Bronny can get through it, and I hope he becomes something of a role player in his NBA career. I hope he does. If he becomes Pat Beverly, man, that's great. That's an awesome career. And I hope he gets that chance. But this is going to be trials and tribulations, and it's just going to get more annoying for the average NBA fan this whole year. So please, please do me a favor. Do not alert me every time Bronny. Please don't alert me every time Bronny scores a basket in the Summer League. I get it. And at the end of the day, I'm pulling for him, but it's because his dad put him in a tough, no-win situation. That's all. It's the Cam Show, Rogue Media Sports Network. Cam Show, Rogue Media Sports Network, Braden Murray alongside. Braden, we joked about this yesterday, but really, the Home Run Derby became a must-see TV event.
Yeah.
It dominated social media last night. I'm happy for them. It's the gift that keeps on giving, the Home Run Derby. You've since seen the video.
I have.
What'd you think about that national anthem?
It sounded like, so you know how people they do parodies of songs and they pitch shift the vocals?
Uh-huh.
That's what that sounded like.
Like the broken recorder thing for like country roads? Okay.
Yeah. That's what that sounded like to me.
By the way, who is this?
I don't know. I do know.
Do you have the name?
Ingrid.
I looked it up, but I forgot.
Like Anders or Andress or something?
Ingrid. If you got to be named Ingrid at this point, you got to be pretty good. She is listed as a country singer.
Yeah, she has 2 million.
I was thinking she was like an actress of some kind, and they just put her out there.
I mean, she's a 4-time Grammy nominee.
She's had top 40 singles on the country chart.
Yeah, she has 2 million listeners on Spotify monthly.
All right, let me first say this, okay? So she's had one top 30. She had one that peaked at number 30. We couldn't have got someone better than that. You know?
I mean, it's the home run.
Dallas, but come on.
Got Creed. Oh,
I guess a lot of people are doing. I guess bands are touring in the summer, so that might be tough. Maybe Creed's out there tonight.
Oh yeah,
All-Star game.
Maybe
that would be great.
That'd be
they
cool.
obviously the Rangers kind of latched onto that last year for the World Series run. So you've never heard of this person, have you?
I have not. No,
okay.
No.
You're not a big country music fan anymore.
Never was. But when I do go country, I go like Willie, Glenn Campbell.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Old school. George Strait at all, or
sometimes, yeah.
She does not have a Oh, there's a personal life. This is an all-time great personal life section.
Did
of
it
Wikipedia.
already make it to Wikipedia?
So usually that's like, oh, here's their family, or here's where she went to high school or something. Like if it's a young singer, there's not typically a lot, but there's something in there. Or she's a vegetarian, or she's gay, or something like that. Mm-hmm. Personal life. Andress resides in Nashville, Tennessee. In 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Andress broke up with her boyfriend of 6 years and entered a new relationship.
Wow.
That's it.
Groundbreaking.
That's it. So it was awful. It was awful. She sounds like she's having an orgasm on the mic at times, like she's really throwing the moaning in there, which got me to thinking, what are the worst U.S. national anthem performances? because I posed this question to you last night, and I do need to clarify because you asked the follow-up question.
Well, I wasn't watching the Derby.
Not any national anthem, the U.S., the Star-Spangled Banner.
I wasn't watching the Derby. I was knees deep into my my build-up of UAB.
Oh,
so.
I'm excited to talk about that, by the way.
Yeah.
We are going to hit that later because I am FOMOing big time on that. But so you didn't see it live.
No.
You quickly went to Twitter.
Yes.
And found it out. Have you done any research into some of the worst since then?
So there was one I had
Please.
one that come to my top of my head as soon as you said we were talking about this. And I got to find where it was. Like I don't know where this was performed. But there was one I don't know. There was one from 13 years ago where there's this guy who just bungles the words.
Love that. Love when they forget the words.
And
sometimes they're on the screen.
You want me to read you what he ended up singing?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, could you sing it for me?
I'm not going to sing it.
Please?
No.
Braden?
I'm not going to sing it.
This is me, the host of the show, asking you to sing.
Okay, I'll sing.
Yes. Hell yeah. Bring it on. Yeah.
Oh, say
Yes.
can you... I'm not going to try to hit the
Come
note.
on, just give it a shot. You'll be
Can
better than the
you
lady. Better than
see
Carl Lewis.
By the dawn's early light,
Uh-huh.
what
Yeah.
so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and
Did he sing it normal, or is he going to
No, we're
get
getting
to...
there.
Okay.
We're getting there.
Just wanted to make sure you had
Whose broad
those.
stripes and breast were so gallantly there,
Yup,
as the
that's what it
rockets were there,
Yes.
and the twilight's last gleaming,
Oh.
and the rockets'
Yes.
red glare
Yes.
were so gallantly there. Her stripes were all there, and the rockets were there.
Yeah.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet glaze over the land? And then he finishes
Glazing for real.
Yeah. Everything was there, guys. The stars, the stripes, the rockets.
I think he pretty much got all the words in there.
All the words were in there, yes. But he wanted to clarify what the picture looked like.
Who was that? Who
Just
was the
some
guy?
random dude that I found on TikTok a couple years, last year.
Like did it at like an NBA game or something?
No,
Oh,
it looks
You
like
just
at
did it for TikTok.
at like a horse race.
Love that. Love that.
There's no description in
That
the bio.
should be like some up and coming star in the area. You know what I mean? Like if
Mhm.
that were in Reading, Pennsylvania in 2006, you should have Taylor Swift singing that national anthem. But instead, they got a guy who just doesn't know the words. I'll bet you could I'll bet you would know the words if you sang it, Braden. Like if I asked you to do it before a game, I think you could do it.
I think I could. Yeah.
At least know the words, right?
Right.
Yeah. You also made a wild claim that "Oh Canada" is a terrible song, which
It does nothing for
like
me.
let's get the elephant in the room to I guess in somewhat it's not a defense of Ingrid Andress or whatever her name is. The national anthem for this country kind of stinks.
Yeah, I mean it's a hard song to sing.
It's a very difficult song to sing. It's about a battle that we lost. There's a
Yeah.
lot of words that just
also it's
don't
a poem,
get used.
Which is, you know.
Like if we're gonna do about a battle we lost, might as well make it the Alamo. That shit rocks.
That would
But
go hard.
there's also so many patriotic songs that you could use. God Bless America is great. America the Beautiful is my pick to be the national anthem. I think it's a great song. 4 great verses. You don't do all 4, but there's so many that you could do. My Country 'Tis of Thee and just troll the English.
Yeah.
Just throw their song right back at them as our national anthem. That'd be pretty cool. Flower of Scotland's a great one. I'd look into that. But we did promise the worst. In no particular order. Carl Lewis, you ever heard that one?
You played it before the show, so yes.
He literally stops in the middle. He goes, Rockets, Rockets. And then he goes, uh-oh. I'm going to make it up to you guys. And then tries so hard. They cut to the players. It was an NBA game. It was like the Bulls. I think Jordan was there. And someone else. And they're just laughing. Like, just laughing their ass off. Roseanne Barr. Very famous
Barr
one.
sang the song?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Have you not heard that? We have internet right now. I'm going to pull that up. Yes, she sang it for a Padres game because Tom Werner, Padres co-owner at the time,
Padres.
now Red Sox co-owner, wanted to promote the show. He was the showrunner for Roseanne, and it was.
I can imagine it was not.
Oh
yeah.
man, let's play it out loud. Let's play it out loud. Let's get through this Wix commercial first, just so at least.
Yeah, that sounds about what I would expect.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
This is like
and then she grabs her crotch and spits. And she's being booed off the field. I'm sorry. I know Roseanne is problematic, but that is hilarious. That is like, cause like, what do you expect when you say, "Hey, Roseanne, sing
Barr,
the
do you
national
want to sing the
anthem?"
national anthem? I will say that the guy that I knew that I found,
Yeah.
he has a good voice.
Does he?
He
Just the memory part.
yeah.
That's both can make for great bad national
Right.
anthems. Fergie, famous one. I know you've
Fergie's
seen
famous
that one.
Yeah.
That one was just bizarre. It felt like she was like drugged out of her mind for that one. That was the NBA All-Star game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it
Like
was.
6 or 7 years ago. What was the other one I was thinking of? Oh, man. Oh, different kind of note. Literally, actually. Game 3 of the NBA Finals this year had one of the worst I've ever heard. They did one of those electric guitar versions.
Okay.
Jimi Hendrix popularized that.
Right.
The one from Moneyball comes to mind, and those were actually really good. I don't mind if you're like, I prefer to hear the song sung, but if you're going to nail it with the electric guitar, I'm okay with that. But this dude got so meta with the electric guitar, I was like, literally, what song is playing? Like, I have no clue what song is playing. Like, it was so weird. Which reminds me, there was a Baylor one this year. Were you at that game with the autistic kid?
Yes,
that
but it was
did
a kid, so I'm not going to say anything.
And it was awesome.
Okay,
he
okay.
shredded. No, it was great.
He did good.
That's why I'm like, how could this professional guitarist not get it right? It was like this 12-year-old kid with autism, and he fucking nailed it and had like the big smile afterwards.
God, what game was that? Was that
I
Iowa
don't
State?
remember.
Houston?
It was a big game. It might have been
It was
Houston.
a big game.
It was a big game. Roseanne Barr. That was so terrible. In a hilarious way. Like, again, what do you expect?
Yeah.
What do you expect? What's the best national anthem you've heard?
I like Metallica's.
I don't think I've heard that one.
It's just Metallica playing it.
They're good.
Pretty
They're a
cool.
good band.
Pretty cool.
Pretty
Jimi Hendrix's is pretty cool.
Yeah. Whitney Houston at the Super Bowl.
Whitney
That's the
Houston's
one
is
we hear a
good.
lot. That's pretty good.
Luke Combs. Well, he
I don't
did it
remember that
recently, right?
Probably. I don't remember.
I think
it.
his was good. It was
Jose
long ago.
Feliciano was the first one to kind of get a little artsy with it. 68 World Series. He did it acoustically. You know Jose Feliciano?
Isn't
The
he
blind guy,
the
Feliz
Macarena?
Navidad.
Oh.
Yeah. He also does an awesome cover of Light My Fire. And like people, it was just like this huge outrage for it. And so ever since, we've gotten
Wait, there was
different
outrage
renditions.
over Light My Fire, the national
No,
anthem.
the national anthem. He did it at the 68 World Series, and he was the first one that didn't sing it like completely straight-laced. Like he would
Oh.
pull out the notes a little bit, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Oh, say can you see? Like something like that.
Got it.
How about that? Did you like that?
That was nice, yeah.
I nailed that. Damn, maybe I should try it sometime.
Maybe you should sing
Maybe we
it.
should have me do it.
Yeah.
That would be funny. That would be
one-
funny. A great way to bury the hatchet.
Week
between
one
me and
versus
my alma mater.
Tarleton. You should do it versus
That would be
Tarleton.
great, man. They hate me, so it's like, why not get me out there and embarrass myself? That'd be fun.
That'd be
It'd be
great.
great for the brand. I think we should try to make that happen.
Yeah.
We've got some people on the inside.
It's actually just Rogue Media employees as backup singers, too.
That'd be great. You, Zach, Mike, back there, Sheridan,
Get Corey.
Josh.
Get Corey.
Corey's son.
Yeah.
I think that would be great.
That'd be
Lark,
awesome. Yeah.
Pete. Anyone else we're missing? The intern, whose name I don't remember, unfortunately. Anyway, we're going to talk about NCAA, college football.
Yeah.
The video game.
The video
Because, golly, I'm jealous of you guys. That's coming up next on The Camp Show, powered by Rogue Media Sports Network. guys got to play college football. I didn't because of the aforementioned bank account and tight budget. I cannot. I'm not a huge gamer, so it wouldn't even be worth it for me. Even if I did have some more money, in terms of I play NHL 21 or 22 and MLB The Show 21 or 22, and that's only because one of my good friends gave me his PS4 when he upgraded, and because before that I had like an Xbox 360 playing NHL 12. So like that's all I really care about.
Yeah.
But the other game I used to play obsessively as a kid was college football, and I wasn't even big into Madden, bro. I wanted to play college, and now it's back, and I'm left with my thumb up my ass because I don't have any fucking money to go buy the console.
Yeah.
And you guys were ahead of it. You had the consoles.
Yeah.
And now you get to reap the rewards, as I see all of Twitter playing yesterday. So I guess just general review, whoever wants to go first, please. Make me sad.
I think Braden dove into it a little bit more than I did, so I'll let him go second to like add in more detail than I did. But yeah, I was the same way growing up. Like I played Madden, but college football was always what I preferred,
fun,
and it was more of like I would just spend hours like trying to I loved taking bad college football teams and turning
That's
them
the
into
thing.
powerhouses.
Because there's so many, as opposed to Madden, which I know there's some teams that suck for years, right?
Yeah.
But with college, you can take the team that's just never been good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would, when they had the Heisman guys, you could put in there Barry Sanders playing for UMass. Unbelievable. So I love that part of it.
It's funny you bring up UMass. I remember in 2014, I had a pretty decent UMass dynasty going,
Oh, they would've been
where
brand new,
I
too.
got them because you could get conference invites too.
Yeah.
and I think I got them into the Big Ten. So there was like a UMass, like a
Hell
Big
yeah.
Ten season. Now we never. I don't think I ever got to that Big Ten title game, but the fact that I got the Minutemen there, I thought was always pretty exciting. But
I used to
so
love in that too. Sorry, very quick.
There you
aside,
go.
Is when you would make the schedules, and like you'd have an open week, and you'd just be like, "Yup, Alabama," or I'm gonna sub this FCS out for let me see, Notre Dame. Like
Mm-hmm.
just stacking your schedule, so by week 4 when you beat them all, you were like number 10. Oh God, that was.
I'm gonna
fun,
take it
man.
to
I
one-
used to spend days.
I
doing
would do
shit.
that too, and I'll take it to one even nerdier sports gaming step.
Half that counter.
Is I would think because they would have like pipeline states and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and in my head, I would think to myself, all right, well, let me get some more notoriety. If I'm not a state that that's in Texas or Florida, somewhere like that, let me find a game to schedule there. Like I would try to use that mentality, or to be like, oh, I'm going to create some own rivalries of my own. I would set up my own home and aways. If I all right, I'd try to be realistic. Like, Alabama's not going to come play at San Jose State. So those would be, I'd have to play there, but maybe I
that
start.
You could just do that.
I know
You're
you
like,
could.
Let me be real here.
But I was nerdy enough to where I was like, let me at least be like, I'll go to Tuscaloosa. Anyway, the game this year, at least for me, it feels like a college football game. That's one of the things I was.
Pricks a tear to your eye, man.
It does. Like that's one of the things that I was so stoked about, because the college football games always felt different than Madden, right? Like
Yep.
it's all still football, and sure the rules apply, but it just felt different. And this game feels different. I don't feel like I'm playing Madden.
There
I don't know
was
if
more
it's-
to the off the field, like outside of the game.
Exactly.
They really put into the stadiums and as much as they could with the fans and traditions and rivalries and all that.
So
shit.
that is the big thing I'll
Recruiting,
go
obviously.
into then, and then I'll let Braden take over, because you talk about like the outside. Not only is the gameplay fun and it feels faster and it just feels like college football, but like you have to pick your favorite team, and like that's what it molded your ultimate team stuff after. Like you play stadium-wise jerseys, all that. So I picked Baylor. By the way, the new jerseys look nice in the game, like with the yellow stripe around. It doesn't look bad.
Good.
But
There's no anthracite though.
Oh,
no.
wait. So do they only have those 3? Do they
Yeah.
do any throwbacks at all?
They have Sailor Bear.
Okay,
You
see,
see
I
a
haven't seen
helmet,
that
but
yet.
you can't play in like the RG3 jerseys or
No.
anything. Oh, that's.
I mean, maybe they'll
Maybe
add
an
that
ultimate
later.
team you will be
Yeah,
able to.
but
hopefully.
right. But so I've gotten to see McLean a lot, and I will tell you that the last time I remember playing, and I'm sure they made it a little bit better, but I remember the days of playing, college football games, and it was supposed to be at Floyd Casey, and it looks
Yeah.
like just this generic just bowl. And you're like, yeah, that's not really Floyd Casey. Or then they just add the tarp in
They had
one
the
end.
tarps, yeah.
And they'd be
Yeah.
like, oh,
They
yeah, it
did have
is. And
that.
you're like, no, just because you added the tarp, it doesn't feel like Floyd Casey. this feels like McLean.
It looks like McLean.
It does, like almost down to the T. And it's a little trippy since the last time I played a game because I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, like I've sat in those stands. Like, yeah, it looks like that. The amount of time and effort they put into presentation this year is absolutely phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So, Braden, what have you, like, have you done Road to Glory, fucking Dynasty? Like, what was your first play?
So when I booted it up, the first thing I jumped into was Road to Glory. They're doing it different this year and probably for the foreseeable future. You don't start in high school.
I don't like that. I liked.
I
liked playing in high school. I customized my high school and my high school schedule.
Did you not think it was a little bit much to have to play through a 10-game season and then all the playoffs too? Like you played like a 16-game high school season.
Loved it, man.
I did keep track
as
of
someone who's not athletic enough to play like real high school sport. I played lacrosse, but like that was it for me. That
I would
was
keep
vicariously living through a dream
because it would tell you like at the end of the game like these 6 teams visited you.
Yeah.
And I would keep a list and then I would make notes of the teams that visited multiple times as well. So fair enough, code.
Well, even like give us like the high school playoffs. I don't need a whole season. But I booted up. I was a quarterback, and the way they're doing it now is you can either be a 5-star, a 4-star, a 3-star, or a 2-star. And like your offers, you don't have offers really. It's just
you could earn those stars, or you could set yourself as like a 4-star.
You set yourself.
So you could set yourself in theory as a 2-star and try to get up to a 5-star.
That's what I did.
I did.
That's a one season though.
I did a 3-star as a contributor. No, because you'll start as your freshman year.
Shit. Well, back in the old, it was just 1 year.
You'll start. Well, since you don't start.
So that's essentially then it becomes a high school football game.
Well, no. Like you don't play any high school. You start your freshman year in college.
You start the off season before you
like you came in as like a 2-star.
Because I was getting confused. I was like, you guys said we couldn't play as high school.
Yeah, no, you can't.
No. You build your guy. You say I want to be they call it the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
You come in as a 2-star, and I'm at Kennesaw State because I could
happy for you
conceivably be a starter there soon. I was a bench player. I didn't get super deep into Road to Glory, but I saw clips. There in the game, there's an option. Like there's a character, an NPC who plays a girl in your class, and she invites you to a party or whatever.
There's NPCs in this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all have played.
Once again, I was not.
I haven't
franchise, but there is.
Yeah. Oh, so is it like the story mode kind of like
text messages?
Oh, okay.
And you can choose what type of response you want. And there was like you can choose to be an overeager, like an overeager, like a simp basically. And if you do that, you send 3 block texts of just I'm super interested in you, blah 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 blah.
Oh God.
And that results in you getting blocked by her. And so the reactions to that have been funny.
Oh man.
But
it wouldn't happen if you were a 5-star though, Braden.
Probably not.
That's true. Maybe
I didn't get that
but
far.
You're the backup quarterback. I mean,
I didn't get that far into the gameplay for that. But I spent
I got blocked and I just said I'm gonna do the football.
And I spent most of my time doing Dynasty. Well, I didn't spend a lot of time.
And your team is
UAB.
How did you come to that?
It was
Jacob
the first.
Zeno?
What?
Jacob Zeno?
I forgot he was on the team. So when I logged in, like when I started my Dynasty, I was like, oh, I know that guy. I know who that is. I didn't put much thought into it. It was just, ooh, I like their logo. I'm gonna go with them. And they recruited me like when I was a graduating senior. Like, you should come here for journalism, and I said no.
Nice.
So I said, I'll lead them to glory. Win this
You'll make up for telling them
no. Make up
no.
for it, yeah.
Yeah, and it could be. So I'm a master recruiter is what my archetype is, and I got some solid 4-stars, not quite any 5-stars. We made a bowl game my first. Oh, I'm the OC.
I like to start out
so humble, man.
No, I like
Not
to start
even
out
the
as
head coach.
the OC to build up
like
towards
that.
like
I like that from you
where
guys.
your first head coaching job is.
Good work ethic.
Because I played 14 just to prepare. I still had my 360 that I kept just to have college football. So I dusted it out as a couple months ago as I was getting ready, and I started
Honestly, I might take that at this point just to play some college football.
And I started a dynasty. I was UTSA, and we went like 8-4 our first year, won our bowl game. And so in that offseason, I got offered another OC job at Tennessee. And so I took it because I like thinking, all right, and then probably from the OC job at Tennessee is where I'll find my next head coaching job. So
I used to I had the dynasty, And what I would do with the dynasty is some years I would just be like, I would only play offense. I almost never played both ways. And then I got so bored with that the next couple years I didn't do any, like, just simmed recruiting for the offense, just did defense, and was like, how many straight games can I keep them off the scoreboard? And it was a lot.
Yeah.
nice.
And we would get into these bowl games and win like 14-3. It was awesome.
So you were like, I
So
will.
sick. Yeah, I would just focus on, or okay, I actually do have this question because that was going to lead me to my next point.
Okay.
So when you guys make a player, I know you haven't probably done it yet, but if you're doing 14, you're making a player. Let's go back into those chairs.
Okay.
Position, are you doing quarterback or running back?
I did quarterback. Traditionally quarterback.
I usually did running back.
Running back. Yes.
I would enjoy, like, I would switch and do quarterback.
Quarterback, I
some.
threw too many picks. I was like, I don't want to be. I don't want to do
Well,
this if I'm not a gunslinger. So
See that, and that's the thing is
And
like
I love running as the
I love to run like the more air raid type offense, and so like as a quarterback, I always hate it when they make me do handoffs and I just have to be like and pitch it and then roll around.
sim
Yeah.
play. Yeah.
Especially if you wound up with a team that like had like a good running back, like
Yeah.
and like I get why you would do that, but so I like being the guy carrying the rock, and if anything on pass plays, I can usually just run out to the flat and hope for something there too.
Press Y.
Yeah.
Just keep pressing Y.
Just like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm open.
I would sometimes like make my like bring the sliders down on my quarterback when I was a running back to be like, you have no choice, coach. You've got to hand the ball.
I'm the only guy.
Shit,
Yeah.
man.
I
I would
used to-
love to play as this again.
I used to play as a
McLean.
receiver,
Mm.
but I didn't ever run the routes. I would just always run a go.
Go. I did that in Madden when I do.
I had so many yards and touchdowns. It was awesome.
Could you still call for the ball every time?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, that would just suck.
Like you just
Like,
beat him off the ball and call for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you, I guess.
Can I ask a random question
Yes.
since we're reminiscing about all this?
Yes.
Do you have like a dynasty that you remember that's like, that's mine? Here's the thing. It's going to show how old I am.
Couple, yeah.
It's going to show how damn old I am. But NCAA 2004.
Fuck.
I told you, Carson Palmer's on the cover of it. So, but I took the Buffalo Bulls. This is pre-Khalil Mack.
Very
This
rare.
is
Yeah.
they still had the horn on the side of the helmet, and I took them to a 13-0 year
Dang.
where we were number
Wow.
4 in the nation.
Wow.
Even though we beat both the number 1 and number 3 team in non-con.
Fucking BCS.
Yeah.
The BCS screwed us, and so we ended up like
Fiesta
killing
Bowl.
Oregon like 42-17 in the Fiesta Bowl. Well, you know, one of the other New Year's Six, and then after that, like nothing. They didn't give me a job extension.
Dang.
We stayed in
That's
the MAC,
unbelievable.
and I was
Unbelievable.
like the best single
disrespect.
season I've ever produced, and so I was like done. And so I just had that one, but it just sticks with me of like how much success. I flew too close to the sun for nothing to happen in Icarus,
And they
just
hired
fell back. Yeah,
Turner Gill instead.
exactly.
I don't remember my dynasties.
Check the record on that.
That was good. That was good.
I was always more of a road to glory guy.
That's selfish.
No,
See, we were team first.
see. The thing
Baylor
is,
forced.
I know I played dynasty. I just don't have any like
well,
memorable.
there was a while where Road to Glory wasn't a thing once it got into like the 360 range, like
Mhm.
regular Xbox,
Yeah, like
PS2.
10,
that was
11,
like
yeah.
10, 9 maybe, but it was
Anyway,
Can I say things I don't like about
yeah.
Baylor?
Please.
Okay.
Oh, Baylor.
not in the game, just in general.
Just
Empty it
Baylor.
out, baby. Empty out that closet.
So you remember when they leaked the Baylor new uniforms with the
Yes.
first trailer they released?
Yeah, they've apparently
So-
done with a couple other teams too.
Yeah. They got the band uniforms in the game are green, yellow, and black, which are not what the band uniforms are.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen
And
the
so
band uniforms.
and so I texted my roommate. I was like, he who's on the drum line. Did we get new uniforms? We're gonna wait to like announce that. And it's like, no, EA just got that wrong somehow.
okay.
There's no line, no Baylor line. But
Which is
there-
weird.
There it is weird.
I'm sorry, that is weird.
If you
For
look,
those of you who don't know, the Baylor line, all the freshman students in their gold jerseys rush the field before the game. They make a tunnel for the football team to run through, which is weird because they clearly took a lot of other things into account, right? The stadium.
Yeah.
They have the arch that they run out of with the flames
Yeah.
and everything. So they're looking at pictures and videos
I mean, the scoreboard looks just
The
like
scoreboard
And
looks
just
good.
didn't. They were like, oh yeah, I forgot there were a couple thousand people around the players.
I wonder.
What? How do you miss that?
Well, I wonder, and maybe it's just because I'm not as up to date on a bunch of other schools, what they do of like some of the other schools where they have like, you know, I don't want to say fan, but like student interaction like that. I wonder if theirs is included too.
I mean, I've seen other ones in the games in the past of like Clemson running down the hill
Yeah.
and shit like that. Like, you know, whenever you play Notre Dame, whether you're the opponent or not, you see them hit the sign and everything.
Yeah.
So
I get that. I just don't know if they have it where
Ralphie
they're
running
like,
onto the field,
have fans.
Colorado.
If maybe they thought, oh, that's too many
I don't like you.
layers
I
to
don't
put
like
out there.
you.
On
I don't like you sticking up for you.
okay,
And
my
you know,
bad.
I
I'll
like-
stop.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't like it.
I'll pull it back. My bad.
Even if they don't have the line on the field, they should at least have like the line section in the stadium with all the
Okay,
yellow
I agree
jerseys.
with you there.
Yeah.
They don't have that either.
They'll do a whiteout at Penn State, but they can't do that.
But they have the yellow benches, but just all people
You
in
can
Baylor.
see the benches. That's too bad.
You can't see
while,
the
While
benches.
realistic, that's too bad.
You can see the benches. Also,
like in the corners, you can just see the ends
So,
of the benches.
not
That's
enough
tough.
cowboy hats being worn on the game day apparel. I will say that.
I will
Not
say.
enough jean
Not en-
dresses,
yeah.
denim dresses.
I
That's too bad.
will add, my brother is a UNT guy, and I had to swing by his house quickly yesterday on the way home yesterday, and he was playing. And I asked him what he thought of it, and I looked up, and he goes, well, I can tell you the crowd's pretty realistic. And you look in the end zone, and it is just smattered,
Love
and you
that.
see
Yeah.
that. And he's
Oh
like,
yeah.
That's too
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
They should
So-
all be sold out in the game.
And my
But
second.
hopefully that means they adjust. So like if
That's
you make
true.
UNT good and they play
That maybe you'll get
You
more
know,
fans. Yeah.
OU early in the
Maybe.
season, then you'll have more fans in there.
my
I
second.
hope.
My second season, I scheduled UAB at Baylor in like week 2.
How are you gonna handle that?
Oh, I dog walked them. 70-28.
Oh, damn.
That's mean.
But there was like nobody in the
I think
stadium.
they
I
should
thought
hate
that was
you
really
more than
funny.
they hate me.
Or did
But
they
one
leave
thing I
at
like.
halftime?
One thing I what?
Did they all leave at halftime then?
There was nobody there to begin with.
Oh, okay.
But one thing I thought was cool, as you're heading into the bowl, like you can tell, like it gets louder as opposed to heading towards the scoreboard, which I thought was cool.
Interessante.
Okay.
Like it shakes the controller.
Okay. See, I didn't. I guess I just, since I was the home team there, I just
Yeah.
thought it was kind of like the home field advantage part. But that does make more sense then, because it is like I did notice that more when it is closed in. The controller does vibrate
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Well, sounds fun. Who you guys got in the All-Star game tonight? Laying bets.
American League, just because.
Probably American.
We're all
League.
American League guys.
Yeah,
Paul Skeens breakout performance.
maybe.
Who's to say? I guess we'll talk about it tomorrow. Anyway, that's the Camp Show, Rogue Media Sports Network. We'll see you then.
We are Rogue Media Sports.